All right, welcome back. You're watching People and Politics here on AM Live. We promise to circle back with more. Now we want to gravitate to serious issues regarding the death of Kene as it is right now. There's a very interesting also editorial cartoon in today's Daily Nation. When the system takes out its frustrations on the system. That is today's Daily Nation, and we can see here, this has been drawn by Victor. I just want my panelists to respond to this. Let's just begin with this particular topic, and Boni Khalwale also respond to what you said there. Serious also allegations you make. Maybe you can also substantiate that. Yes. But Otieno Molo,
yes,
your comment on
first of all, this editor, it's very interesting. When the system takes out its frustrations on the system, and so you're wondering who is the system. And I think the DP, as usual, is shown there, I think, crying and practicing. I don't know whether that's what's called shadow boxing.
This is the punching bag now.
Yes,
the DCI.
Is the DCI. But that cartoon should be read together with the caption underneath by Macharia Gaito, with which I agree completely, that where William Ruto has reached, he should do the honorable thing and resign. When you are the deputy president of a country and you maintain that you are duly elected and you're supposed to deputize the chief executive, then you come to lament that the system is fighting you. You have so sufficiently lost faith that you have no business sitting in there. Do what Jaramogi did, resign. But if you can't, then it is right for Parliament to consider impeaching you and to help you out of that misery. The utterances by William Ruto at Kene's funeral and by my brother, Dr. Boni Khalwale, can only be described as careless and reckless and very unfortunate for so many reasons. First of all, you know, I think we forget too fast. Only barely 2 weeks ago on this show, we were discussing, less than 2 weeks ago, the death of Kene. And we were discussing the confusion demonstrated by the Deputy President's office. First, they feigned being unaware of the visit. When it became clear, because the clips were shown, then they said, we were aware, but they were only there for 23 minutes. When it became clear that they were probably there for 23 minutes, then we say, well, this is unfortunately linking us to the arms deal with the chess and all that, and all those things are Photoshop. You remember my brother here almost, you know, hitting the roof. All this time, Echesa himself, who's the central player in all this, has never denied even those photos. I never said it's Photoshop. When we were discussing that, and you remember me saying here, that why would the deputy president, somebody has died in his office, instead of directing and complaining to the police, he's taking to Twitter. It is only after our show that a letter emanated from the deputy president's office now to the DCI to investigate. The prevarication is very curious. At that time, one of the initial reactions was that don't just focus on the deputy president's office. Find out which other offices, especially in the Ministry of Defense, that they have accessed. How is that relevant? Then, you remember at all material time, the theory that we were dealing with was the theory of suicide. To date, the only person we can credit to have moved us from that theory to one of murder is the DCI. And so we should start, and the first person who should thank him for that should be the deputy president himself. If somebody has died in mysterious circumstances in your office, and the DCI has investigated and brought it forth to show that it is murder, the first thing you should do is thank them. And insofar as in that funeral, the deputy president said that Kene was murdered, he was agreeing with the DCI. So if you're agreeing with these people, why would you insult them? Why would you not assist them by saying, now that it is clear this boy was murdered, I am ordering everyone in my office with any information to please report to DCI, to please assist DCI. Do not frustrate them the way DCI is claiming that they're being frustrated. You should direct your wrath to the killers, not to the investigators of the killer. And lastly, if you are so clear, as Boni appears to be clear, as William Ruto appears to be clear, that they know who killed Kene, and they know even why, how do you help the family by saying it at the funeral? or at a press conference as Bonnie was doing, why don't you go to the police? And if you are in fear that they might not take your full statement, go with their lawyer, with a pre-recorded statement and signed. Go even with the media and give that statement and say, this is what I know. Because we all want to know who killed Kene. There are too many unexplained deaths in this country. Only we have not solved the death of Odhiambo Mbai. We have not solved the death of Juma. We have not solved the death of Msando. There are so many, and they increase. Even Yebe, you remember Yebe, we've also not solved those deaths. So when you think you have something that can help us resolve this, bring it to the proper forum. Do not go there. And if you have lost faith in your own system, where you are the deputy and the DC and others are your junior, then resign.
But did we hear anyone saying that they know who killed Kene during the funeral? Because
yes.
I didn't. Did you?
Let me put it. You've just heard what Bonnie said, and you can replay the clip. Okay.
Aside from Bonnie,
yes.
we're talking about now.
First, we are talking
itself.
with Bonnie. Then about the funeral, the deputy president is on record as saying that the death of Kene is being used to fight him. It is a ploy to fight him and his ambition. What does the word ploy mean? Somebody has been killed. What does that mean? It means you have things, you know things more than what you are saying.
Leave it at that.
That's what we mean.
Oh, let's hear from...